I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I'll never back down. I get up when I'm bleeding, really bleeding. I'll never back down.
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
Thought I was 6 feet under. But now it's your turn to face.
Oh, happy Monday.
Is it though?
Well, it's Monday. And I'm hoping that you had a happy one.
I mean, I had a Monday.
Or a decent one.
It's been
As
better.
long as it wasn't bad is the key.
It was better than some.
It could always be worse. It could always be worse.
Well, yes.
So therefore, was it a bad?
What I mean, does that?
I mean, it's a Monday, so I know you already lose points right then and there.
Yeah, I mean, you lose half of it right there because it's Monday.
But,
And
I mean,
we have jobs.
You're 6 feet above ground.
Right.
You have your health.
Right.
You know.
And we have jobs.
Family and jobs and bills are paid and stuff and things and
Things and
stuff.
stuff, right,
So,
right.
I mean,
It could be worse.
it could be a lot worse.
That is very true.
You could be underneath a bridge somewhere, living like a troll.
I don't know. That might be kind of cool.
It would be kind of fun. I'm telling you now, if I ever ended up homeless and never ended up in a
You'd
situation
act like a troll.
where I had to live under a bridge, yeah.
Oh.
I would come up onto a bridge and
You cannot pass unless you answer these questions 3.
that's what I would do just to
Mess with people.
mess with people.
Like set up cones or something so that nobody can drive over.
No. I literally would just look like some horrible, mangly haired thing and just make people ask questions that they can't pass, tell them they can't pass a bridge. Watch them walk past me.
Like, I'll let you go this time. That's fine. But never again.
So there you go.
You found my
You
weakness.
found my one weakness.
Continue walking.
Damn it. Just go. Just go. That's all I don't care.
Anyway.
So last week,
Uh-huh.
Whoopi Goldberg decided to
Mm-hmm.
rebuke.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
A good word.
Bill Maher.
Rebuke. Bill
Yeah,
Maher.
Bill Maher. For saying that America does not need to have 2 national anthems.
Bill Maher.
Yeah, Bill Maher said that the America only needs 1 national anthem.
It does.
There's no need for a black national anthem.
That's absolutely true.
Whoopi doesn't think so.
Why?
Quote,
I think because we've gone backwards a good 10, 15 years.
not a good Whoopi?
No.
Because
That sounds more like a really bad attempt at Bette Midler from Hocus Pocus.
yeah, I get it, but that's just what she sounds like to me nowadays.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
This
what
is
she
why I
sounds
don't listen to her. It makes me very upset.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not going to continue with the voice. I just wanted to see his reaction to it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she says, I think because we've gone backwards a good 10, 15 years, we're having to re-educate people.
No, we're not.
We're having to re-educate people about how women want to be talked to or talked about, and how black people want to be talked about, how Hispanic people want to be talked about.
What does any of this have to do with the anthem?
Continuing on. And just so you know, Bill.
Yeah,
lift every
Bill.
Bill. Lift Every Voice has always been considered the black national anthem. It's always been. Because the separation of the anthems has been so clear to us.
That
Now, maybe other people don't feel like that. Maybe that's what it is. But I feel like we have to re-educate and retell people. We don't think that rapes rape humor's funny.
Well, who does? Well, depends on the joke.
Depends on the joke, honestly.
I'm
It
going to
really
be
does.
honest with you.
It really does depend on the joke.
Yeah, I'm probably laugh at it
Yeah,
if it's good. I mean, now
yeah.
obviously, if you take a moment to really think about it, and
That's
be like,
not
"Oh, that's
cool at all.
horrible,"
But at the same point in time, you're like,
but knee jerk first reaction, everybody with an actual sense of humor would laugh.
right.
She did used to be in comedy,
Yeah.
a comic.
Mm-hmm.
You know that she's not now.
Right.
Just proof that leftists and progressives
Aren't
have no
funny.
sense of humor,
They're just not funny.
and that's their problem.
Yeah.
They've lost the joy,
Yeah. They've lost a lot,
the humor.
especially the Behar.
Oh well, I don't think she ever actually had any. But continue on.
Well, her name. Anyway,
That's
that's all she had ever was her name.
barely
Continuing on, she says, we don't think talking about Native American people is really, in a really despicable way, is funny. It's not funny. And we have to re-educate.
I don't understand what any of this has to do with the national anthem. Because I don't recall that any reference to rape or Native Americans as being anything in even remotely in the national anthem. I don't.
It's definitely not an our national anthem.
No, that's what I'm saying. So where are they getting this whole thing from? I don't understand it. What are you looking at?
Oh, I wanted to see when this was actually written.
Oh, okay. The lyrics, it was written in 1900.
Yeah, it was okay. So 1900, and it was played in 1905.
Okay.
Okay. Where's this? Yeah. So there. I just want to, because it doesn't make sense. She's like,
No.
it's always been the Black national anthem. Has it though?
No. I mean, it may have been for all intents and purposes. They may have gone and sat there and thought that. But again, that's just the mindset that these people have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they're different, and so they have to remain different, and they feel different, and so therefore they need to keep having different things because that's what makes it
Different.
different. Yeah.
Right.
The only way anything works at all is to be different, and by being different, you can have different. I don't know. It does. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just bothered by it a little bit because she's like, it's always been the Black national anthem.
Well, then so what if it
But-
has? It came out in 1900. They can. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. The fact that for over 120 some odd years, people have sat there and went, well, no, this is how we're going to do this.
Right.
This is what we want because we feel different. And don't get me wrong, for 75 of that,
yeah.
we'll say, sure, that I could see where you would want, you might have some ground to stand on to say, you know what, that the way this, it just doesn't I don't feel attached to America because America isn't me. There needs to be something else and blah, blah, blah. Not lately. Not in my humble opinion, not since the late 80s, early 90s up until now. The only reason why anything is going on now, or even technically be the 60s, but in 70s, thanks to civil rights era and blah, blah, blah. But officially, late 80s,
Mhm.
the early 90s, all the way through up until people started trying to start junk again,
Right.
I think we were fine.
I think so too. Actually, I completely believe that wholeheartedly because I grew up during that era.
I did too.
And so I'm looking at it like we didn't have these problems.
And it was known that we were the
We were
most colorblind.
The colorblind
the
generation.
most colorblind generation ever in American history.
Until the next generation came
And
up.
someone heard that and went, oh, well, we can't have that.
That's racist.
Can't have that now, can we?
That's right, because that would mean unity. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Darn it.
Dang. Non-compliant kitten over there on the Twitters. Hashtag arm yourselves. Most rape jokes aren't funny. They seem forced.
See what you did there.
Well done. Well done. Anyway, so Bill Maher responded to the whoopies.
Good. Which is, I'm just saying.
I mean, he did
I know
it all
she
for the
doesn't.
whoopee.
I know she doesn't care. Well, no, he didn't. I know she doesn't care. But Bill Maher is somebody you don't kind of challenge because the man has 0 Fs to give. He could.
Did you see that video that I sent you about the Fs?
Yes,
It was
Yes.
good.
that was
good.
funny.
It was well done.
Well, it matches the song.
He has multiples. By
Oh,
the way.
good.
That guy has multiple videos of efferys.
It's just one of those things where he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about anything. He has his stand on what he thinks, and that's the way he's going to go. And
That's it.
neener.
Right. And I'm not saying that he hasn't changed his mind every now and again, because he has.
Oh yeah, well, people have the right to change their mind.
Right. And that's good. I'm glad he does.
At the same time,
I just hope that it's not for political purposes only. Anyway, so Bill Maher decided to respond. He said, directly responding to Whoopi's criticisms, Maher invoked comparisons to Chairman Mao. Quoting, Whoopi Goldberg said, we're having to re-educate people. Because nothing ever goes wrong when you start re-educating.
I mean, it worked fantastic in Russia.
Just ask Chairman Mao.
Well, not just
Maybe we
Mao,
can
look
set
at-
up some sort of camp.
Ooh. Like a re-education camp.
Yeah, that's what
You know, again, they have those, or they had.
right. They did actually. We
Ru-
did. America
Well,
did.
but I'm saying, I think they're still going on in the Russias.
And in the Chinas.
Yeah, the gulags and stuff. Nobody ever talks about any of that stuff.
No, those are re-education camps, definitely. Maher suggested that Whoopi completely missed the point. Maher said he was not defending the Star-Spangled Banner, but was instead promoting the idea to use a single national anthem and the idea that segregating by race is bad. You shouldn't segregate by race.
No,
It's not a good thing.
shouldn't really segregate much of anything, to be perfectly honest with you.
He says that, I quote, symbols of unity matter, and purposefully fragmenting things by race reinforces a terrible message that we are two nations, hopelessly drifting apart from each other.
I agree.
That's not where we were even 10 years ago,
Nope.
and it's not where we should be now.
But here we are.
Right. Yeah, you continue to say, why not 2? If we have 2, why not 3 or 5 or 25? Why not a Latino anthem, a gay, trans, indigenous people or Asian Pacific Islander anthem?
Uh-huh.
Why not?
Why not, indeed?
Because we're supposed to be combined as one.
Are we?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it by looking out there.
Yeah. Anyway, he goes on and on and on. And that's fine.
And on.
And on.
And on.
And anon.
And on.
Anon, anon.
Do.
But really, they hit on a point that funny enough, Dylan sent something over to us.
I did.
And it kind of plays on the same idea.
I had the time.
He had the time, and well, let's just put it this way. He found something that should never have been done.
Shouldn't have been done.
Ever.
Nope.
Never.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. Back in 2003, specifically February 12th, 2003.
Well, it did. Well, hold on. Just for clear, it's not that it shouldn't have been done.
Okay.
This is fantastic. I found this because it struck me as odd. It sounds a tad familiar.
It does.
Of
Doesn't it?
what's going on now.
Yeah, it's 8 criteria of thought reform as applied to executive success programs.
Yeah, thought reform. Brainwashing.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
The milieu, number 1, milieu control.
Milieu.
Milieu.
No, milieu.
No, milieu. Control of communication within the group environment, resulting in a significant degree of isolation from the surrounding society. By the way, I realized I jumped the gun here on this.
Here.
this is Robert Lifton had come up with this idea. He wanted to go and research, Russia and China and all these people to find out and to understand,
How they actually make it work.
how they make people do this. How does they make all this tick? The whole nine.
It's crazy. They're making all these people do all these things, and they just do them.
It's really weird.
Odd.
So he came up again with the 8 steps or the 8 warnings, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
What the stops were. And for again, number 1 is the milieu control of communication within the group environment, resulting in a significant degree of isolation from the surrounding societies. Does that sound the least bit familiar? You can't post anything on Facebook without somebody supposedly being fact checked. You can't have anything that argues in the slightest bit, because if you do,
You'll get banned.
You'll get banned or marked or blocked or what have you.
Oh, wow.
Again, and on platforms that, by the way, it seems to be the only way we use to communicate with each other anymore.
Right.
We don't talk to people face to face, so that kind of isolates a lot of things right there. It includes other techniques to restrict members' contact with the outside world and to be able to make critical, rational judgments about information, overwork, busyness, multiple lengthy meetings, etc.
Etc.
Lifton said, quote, "The most basic feature of the thought reform environment, the psychological current upon which all else depends, is the control of human communication."
Right. So if you're locked in your house and you're forced to only be able to communicate via social media.
Oh, my goodness.
And yet you can't communicate via social media because the words that you say happen to be things that the government doesn't agree with.
Yep. And there you go.
Then you're kind of locked out.
It's kind of weird how that works out, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
This includes not only the individual's communication with the outside, but also his communication with himself. Thought reform participants may be in doubt as to who is telling what to whom.
Like themselves.
The fact that extensive information about everyone is being conveyed to the authorities is always known. Having experienced the impact of what they consider to be ultimate truth, they consider it their duty to create an environment containing no more and no less than this quote-unquote truth. The group member is deprived of the combination of external information and inner reflection which anyone requires to test the realities of his environment and to maintain a measure of identity separate from it, end quote.
So by making it so you don't actually learn or you don't actually critically think, i.e. our educational system
There you
currently
go.
is set,
Yep.
you then make it easier for people to control you overall.
Yes.
Because you don't have the mental fortitude and wherewithal
Yep.
to put yourself into a position to think through the problems.
Yeah, it's kind of like not knowing how to use utensils. If somebody's constantly coming and feeding you and you don't know how to use a utensil, you can't feed yourself by yourself.
Right.
Just saying. What is number
Are these
2?
examples of
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
Wow. It's a very long, lengthy thing. We don't obviously don't have time. Number 2, mystical manipulation. The claim of divine authority or spiritual advancement that allows the leader to reinterpret events as he or she wishes or make prophecies or pronouncement at will, all for the purpose of controlling group members.
Think the Pope.
Deeper than that. Lifton said, quote, "The inevitable next step for milieu control is the extensive personnel manipulation. Initiated from above, it seeks to provoke specific patterns of behavior and emotion in such a way that will appear to have arisen spontaneously from within the environment." Climate change.
Right. Climate change.
Ideological totalists are impelled to be a special kind of mystique, which is not only justify such manipulations, but also makes them mandatory.
Right.
They are the agents, quote unquote, chosen by history, by God, or by some other natural force. Again, COVID,
Climate change.
It keeps going.
Yeah.
To carry out the mystical imperative, the pursuit of which is supersedes all considerations of decency or of immediate human welfare.
Definitely climate change.
Similarly, any thought or action that questions the higher purpose is considered to be stimulated by a lower purpose.
Racism.
And to be backward, selfish, and petty in the face of great overriding mission.
You racist, misogynist bastard.
At the level of the individual person, the psychological responses to this manipulative approach can revolve about the basic polarity of trust and mistrust. One is asked to accept these manipulations on a basis of trust or faith. When trust gives way to mistrust, the higher purpose cannot serve as adequate emotional sustenance.
So, when's the last time anybody's ever talked to their neighbor? Speaking of trust and mistrust. Anyway.
The individual then responds to the manipulations through developing the psychological of pawn. Feeling himself unable to escape from the forces more powerful than himself, he subordinates everything to adapting himself to them.
Yeah.
He becomes sensitive to all kinds of cues. You know, like you don't say certain words or do certain things.
Right.
Because, you know, you're going to be labeled something.
If you do. Right.
Exert in anticipating environmental pressures and is skillful in writing in them in such a way that his psychological energies merge with the tide rather than turn painfully against himself. This requires that he participate actively in the manipulation of others, as well as the endless round of betrayals and self-betrayals which are required. But whatever his response, he has been deprived of the opportunity to exercise his capacities for self-expression and independent action, end quote.
It's funny how that happens.
Sounds creepy, doesn't it?
It sounds really creepy, but it's common.
It's real.
It happens everywhere.
All the time. It's happening
funny.
now.
Right now.
Like it.
Like right now.
Like right this
Like
second
right
right
here.
now.
Right now.
Let's see. Number 3. We're going to have to carry these over into the other half.
I think so.
The number 3 is demand for purity. The world is viewed as black and white, and group members are constantly exhorted to strive for perfection. Consequently, guilt and shame are common and powerful control devices. Lifton said, quote, in the thought reform milieu, as in all situations of ideological totalism, the experiential world is sharply divided into the pure and the unpure. The haves, the have-nots, the vax, the unvaxxed. You see kind of where this is going?
The black and the white, also politically correct.
The police and everyone else.
Yeah.
Into the absolute, the pure and impure, into the absolutely good and absolutely evil. The good and the pure are, of course, those ideas, feelings, and actions which are consistent with the totalist's ideology and policy. Anything else is apt to be regulated to the bad and the impure.
Funny how that works.
A philosophical assumption underlying this demand is that absolute purity is attainable. By defining and manipulating the criteria of purity, then by conducting an all-out war upon impurity.
Right.
The ideological totalists create a narrow world of guilt and shame.
You know, it's funny. I hate to do the Hitler thing here, but that's exactly what Hitler did.
I know, isn't that weird?
It's the exact, that is like verbatim.
Yep. This is perpetuated by an ethos of continuous reform.
Constant.
Like gun reform, maybe?
Like gun reform, like healthcare reform, like
everything reform.
Political correctness reform,
Everything
like
has
racial
to change.
Reform.
Yeah.
We have to re-educate everybody.
Yep. A demand that one strives permanently and painfully for something which not only does not exist, but is in fact alien to the human condition. Each person is made vulnerable through his profound inner sensitivities to his own limitations and his unfulfilled potential, his existential guilt. This individual thus comes to apply the most totalist polarization of good and evil in his judgment to his own character. Oh, this is going to get deep. And we still have more to go.
Oh, there's a bunch of points here.
So much more to go.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We'll finish this up on the other side. Stay right there.
I think so. I hate getting fiberglass all over me. What?
I hate being a mule.
Well, I mean, you're a tall guy and a big guy and a strong guy. So.
I know, but I'm also on the older end of things, but I'm still the one moving and hauling.
You're the youngest?
No, thank God there's another guy there that's younger, but
Good.
he's very small.
Oh, so he can't. He can't do the things that you can do.
And he come from the meter reading and stuff for electrical systems.
So he really didn't do anything
Nope.
ever. Like his job has always been basically nothing.
Pretty much.
He got paid to do nothing.
And so I'm the guy who gets to pick up and move and haul and lift. And
Oh, no, I'd be making that guy do that.
I would, but it'd never get done.
I don't care at this point.
Yeah, well.
Like, that guy needs to learn how to work.
No, he's actually shorter than you.
And?
Smaller than you.
And
granted, these are not like what we had at the
I've got a dad bod, which is why I'm bigger than I used to be.
Yeah, I know, but we haven't had... These are not near as big or as heavy to a point as what we used to have over at the other place.
Yeah.
But there's still that, and you're expecting him to move. Oh, by the way, we have to use hand trucks and stuff to move this stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
It takes 3 of us, and I'm the one doing most of the pushing to get these things to move. I'm telling you, there's no
Get
way
that
he
kid
could
to
do it.
work out.
Yeah, because that'll get done. And in time for...
This is Defenders Live.
Oh,
Isn't this fun stuff? This is boring the hell out of a lot of people, I'm sure.
I'm sorry about that, but it is something you
I'm
need
not.
to think about.
I'm not. This is stuff that kind of, everyone says
It piques our interest.
you're being brainwashed, you're being manipulated, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. We're giving you the exact definition of what it takes to be brainwashed. What happens when you get brainwashed? And, you could then take all of this and feel it out for yourself and go, oh, is it really?
Is this what's going on in my
really
life?
brainwashing or is it not? Because I don't know about you, but I know that there's a lot of things I can see in the world around us, especially in our country, that we can point at and go, hey, this is kind of familiar. It sounds
Yeah.
almost identical.
Yeah, by the way, it under that heading for demand for purity, here's some things. Rules and rituals that may apply.
Okay.
Okay. Sashes and scarves.
Okay. Sashes and scarves.
Promotion.
Okay.
Stripes. Pictures of the founders.
Okay.
Your shoes.
Okay.
Not just your shoes, but the type of shoes you wear. Explanations of bowing.
Ha. Well,
That's-
yeah,
yeah.
duh, you have to bow.
You have to bow.
Because you were nothing.
There are degree of bow.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, also the standards when high rank members enter.
Yeah, you have to, yeah. Make sure that
That's
you
definitely a thing.
give them the respect they deserve.
Explanations of resuscitations of your missions, phone tree, confidentiality and materials, your attire, handshakes, ESP handshakes.
Yeah, when you use your mind to shake hands.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that.
Yeah. Also, end of session handshake lineups.
There you go.
These are many things that can occur and that create ritual. And those rituals are what create purity.
Isn't it fun? There's so much stuff to this thing, and it goes deeper into that.
Oh, it's a huge thing, though. Like, there's so many things that go into it.
Oh, yeah. But that was number 3. Number 4, the cult of confession. The cult of confession. Serious and often not so serious sins, as defined by the group, are to be confessed either privately to a personal mentor or publicly to a group at large. Does that sound like anything?
Sounds a lot.
I am so sorry I'm white.
Oh, yeah. Apologizing for our whiteness
That's right up there.
publicly.
Lifton said, quote, confession is carried beyond its ordinary religious, legal, and therapeutic expressions to the point of becoming a cult in itself.
Yeah, because anti-whiteism.
Well, no, but just in general. Not
Right.
just that, but there's all kinds of stuff. Yes, I'm a communist. Yes,
Right.
I'm a terrible, terrible capitalist. No.
Sure, whatever.
I don't know. There is a demand that one confess to crimes one has not committed, to sinfulness that is artificially induced, in the name of a cure that is arbitrarily imposed. Such demands are made possible not only by the ubiquitous human tendencies toward guilt and shame, but also by the need to give expression to those tendencies.
Right.
In totalist hands, confession becomes the means of exploiting rather than offering solace for these vulnerabilities. The assumption underlying total exposure is the environment's claim to total ownership of each individual self within it. The culture of confession makes it virtually impossible to attain a reasonable balance between worth and humility.
Right.
Because if you're always beating yourself up, then your self-esteem.
Yeah, you're always hurting yourself. And not only that, but if you're beating yourself up, then you also always need affirmation from somebody around you.
Yes, and if they're beating themselves up, do you really think for a second they're going to be able to give you what you need?
Unless they're your boss or coach or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you rely on them constantly for your own self-evaluation.
Slug over there on Twitter is this brainwashing or not? Rinse and repeat, boys. Rinse and repeat.
Also, the Knights Who Say Knee wanting to let us know the Titanic's bow was at various degrees as well.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm surprised he didn't have anything to say about the band playing or anything. Because they were playing. And of course, that's what she said.
Yes.
Number 5, the sacred science.
Oh, the science.
The science.
The science.
But this is the sacred science.
Right, but that is also known as you cannot dispute the science.
Yes, it does. It takes it to a whole nother level.
The science has been spoken.
It is there's been concessions among everyone.
Yeah.
The doctrine of the group is considered to be the ultimate truth, beyond all questioning or dispute.
Yep.
The leader of the group is likewise above criticism as the spokesman of God on earth. Lifton said, quote, the totalist milieu contains an aura of sacredness around its basic dogma.
Don't fight the science.
Holding it out as an ultimate moral vision for the ordering of human existence. This sacredness is evident in the prohibition, whether or not explicit, against the questioning of basic assumptions and in the reverence which is demanded for the originators of the word, the present bearers of the word, and the word itself.
Climate change science is settled.
It is settled. Didn't you know that?
It is settled.
So there you go.
There is nowhere else to go.
You have no reason to question
You cannot
anything.
question the science.
No.
Even though the idea of science is to question everything.
Or question nothing. Oh, let's see. While thus transcending ordinary concerns of logic, however, the milieu at the same time makes an exaggerated claim of airtight logic, of absolute, quote-unquote, scientific precision.
Yes.
Again, like climate change.
It has been consented. It is fully, everybody believes it. Everyone believes it.
COVID.
Everyone believes it.
That is not to say, again, just for clarity, it's not saying COVID doesn't exist. We're just saying that the sciences that you keep throwing around behind it is
Right.
BS, and mainly the jab as well. But
Right. Well, once again, climate change technically exists. Our
Every day.
climate changes every day.
it did today, quite a bit.
Every day.
It changed.
We had like a 40-degree jump jump in
today.
Like, all right, so every day we have climate change.
just today. Yep.
Every single day. And over the course of time, over seasons, we have change. And over the course of years, we have solar changes. And those solar changes change the way that the sun hits the earth. Anyway.
Yeah, it's really weird, huh?
So yes, the science is settled. Climate change is real. But not in the way that they say.
Yeah, kind of funny. Thus, the ultimate moral vision becomes an ultimate science. And the man who dares to criticize it or to harbor even unspoken alternative ideas becomes not only immoral and irrelevant, but also unscientific. The assumption here is not so much that man can be God, but that man's ideas can be God.
Oh, my body, my choice.
No, doesn't work that way.
No, my body, my choice for ladies.
Doesn't work that way.
For ladies.
Only for ladies.
And abortions.
Ain't got jack to do with nobody else.
Right. For abortions only, my body, my choice. Anybody who disagrees is unscientific.
Exactly. That's how it goes. At the level of the individual, the totalist sacred science can offer much comfort and security. Its appeal lies in seemingly unification of the mystical and the logical modes of existence. There you go.
Sorry.
For within the framework of the sacred science, there is room for both careful step-by-step syllogism and seeping, not non-rational insights. So strong a hold can the sacred science achieve over his mental processes that if one begins to feel himself attracted to the ideas which either contradict or ignore it, he may become guilty and afraid.
Well, yes.
His quest for knowledge is consequently hampered.
Right. This happened many times in the past. The science was settled that the earth was flat.
Yeah.
The science was settled that the earth was the center of the universe.
Hello, Galileo. I'm just saying.
It's true.
It absolutely is true.
Absolutely true. These things happened. And yet, the moment somebody stepped out, they were ostracized until about 200 years later, at which time it was proven that they were right.
But they had to be long dead, though.
Yes. Much long dead.
Much dead long. Good stuff.
Dead, yeah, very long, very dead.
Quote, handshaking is a sign of respect and affords us an opportunity to make direct physical contact with others. We believe that many of society's problems have developed because people have come to view each other as objects rather than human beings.
Right.
The handshake is a way to greet others in every professional and personal context and is a sign of respect in ESP. Here in ESP, we use a two-handed handshake.
That's
This
weird.
convey no, it's the whole.
I know
the
that the grab, yeah.
It's the overhand.
It's the double hand, and that's weird.
Why is that weird? It says right here that this conveys warmth and a sense of community.
No, it conveys being overcrowded and stuffy.
No, it doesn't. It means that it's not just being wasted as a normal handshake. This is genuine. This is like
Except for they have to use it there. So it's not genuine, it's a forced action.
It's not a forced action.
Because you believe you're doing it for the right purposes?
It could be.
So it's a forced action.
It's not necessarily a forced action. Stop it.
It's a brainwashed action. It's the example.
Placement of the left hand denotes rank. Individuals of higher rank place their left hand on the top. Individuals of the same rank shake vertically. Lower rank places their hand on the bottom.
I got a question.
That's just a little bit stupid in my book, but
I do have a question.
Okay.
There was a whole thing about handshake logic. Really? Yeah, there's a whole litany of handshake understanding.
Huh.
Okay. Handshake, right? If you do the handshake and it's just a handshake, boom.
Yeah.
Firm handshake, boom, 1, 2, whatever you're going to do there. Perfectly fine. Completely equal. You do a handshake. You have your hand with your finger pointed out, like on the wrist,
Okay.
which is something I do. It's a natural thing for my hand to do,
Yeah.
which is weird, I guess, for some people. But that's actually a deeming, a claiming of control.
Is it?
Yes. It's my hand naturally does it. I have to force my hand not to.
Okay.
But apparently that being, because what it'll do is it'll get your hand basically right on their pulse.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can.
So you go boom right there,
Yeah.
and your finger hits directly on their the pulse line, and supposedly that's a stem of control, meaning that you want to constantly be in control of that.
I've heard that too.
Well, I do. Yeah. Anyway, and then the double hand thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
I don't know.
It's too much.
It depends on who you're shaking.
It's
the hand with.
basically some guy coming up and grabbing both of your shoulders and giving you a kiss.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Especially the ones with the No.
No.
Yeah. No.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so.
It's creepy.
No, it's not. It depends on who it is. Is it somebody that you desperately, care about? Is it somebody you haven't seen in a long time?
Okay. First off,
There's a
if
lot.
it's somebody that I haven't seen in a long time, I'm giving them a hug.
Yeah, but
It goes straight into a hug. If I know them and they are family to me, it goes to hug.
I mean, I can see that.
I'm not a huggy person, but that is hug.
I get that. No, I get that. But they're talking within the realm of actual all out politeness. You can't.
Okay.
You don't hug in politeness.
Let me ask you a question. It's a small
Because
question.
it's supposed to be, because you can't, you can do that. You
this
can do
is
that in
about the
personal.
stupid-
No, you could do that in personal, but you're not going to do that in a professional world. In the
Sure.
professional world, let's say that there's somebody, and I don't know who you would know that you've worked with, but there's not somebody you've ever worked with that you were so close with that if you saw again and worked with again, that you would run up and give, and they didn't even run up, you just give them a hug.
Yeah, I did.
In public?
Yeah.
At the job site?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then, okay.
He was a really good guy.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying I don't.
Yeah, I would.
Most people don't because they say that's not professional.
Heck. All right. This person isn't a professional person that I know professionally, but as a person I know personally.
Yeah, but again, we're out of the realm of personal.
No. I'm saying that there's another one that I do have that as well. Like an old boss of mine.
Oh.
Really cool guy. But I do have one as well where he was at work.
Okay.
And because he's a bouncer.
But were you both working?
No,
That's what I'm saying.
I wasn't, but it was in a very public display.
Yeah, but no, I'm not even I'm talking professional. Like you are in a business, he's in a business.
Right.
You're not necessarily going to hug the guy. You might, but it's
Yeah,
not
but-
it's not as common.
If it's somebody so if it's somebody that I know in that realm, yes.
No.
Yes. Anyway, but the handshake thing is smothers. It's smothering, and it's worse than a hug.
If
Okay.
you say so.
The only time I see a double handshake is like somebody who's obsessed with another person, and they get the hand and they're like,
Well, and maybe they
and that's
enjoy
all
the other person.
that's all I think about when I see a double handshake. Just to get that obsessive, like overactive,
But maybe they desperately
smothering personality.
It's not a smothering.
It is a
they desperately are.
It's scary.
They're happy to see the other individual. Dear Lord, no wonder you are the way you are. Nice you say knee over on Twitter at DOA Show. Word of the day today by Dylan Lyles. Unification, pronounced unification. Definition, the reversal of efficating in object.
Thank you so much. It's good.
I was getting to my eyes were reading too fast and I shut up. Okay? Just shut up. God.
Yeah.
Adam W. Johnson also on Twitter. So which of these fictional entities are we going to see first? State Science Institute, Atlas Shrugged, or Ministries of Truth of 1984? Or Minority Report? And I feel like we're kind of heading for all of it.
I am hoping for the Tetragrammaton monk.
Why?
Because a super unrealistic gun kata. Come on.
Yeah, but
It looked cool and flashy.
Yeah, but
and supposedly was 100% effective.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
For being fictional,
It looked cool.
there's a lot on TV that looks cool. That's why it's TV.
I want the gun kata. I want my Tetragrammaton cleric.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good Lord. Can't even. Number 6, loading the language.
Oh,
Sounds a tad familiar.
we've dealt with loading language.
Durn it.
Yep.
The group develops a jargon in many ways unique to itself, often not understandable to outsiders.
That happens in a lot of jobs too. Like just a lot of jobs where you have like Datacom world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jargon.
Yeah, but let's take that just a teensy bit further.
Right.
Just a tad.
Okay, go ahead.
Further. You know, kind of
Political correctness. Anyway.
No, but let's get specific on that.
What's that?
You know, my pronouns are Zim Zer.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely one of them.
You know, those are the things I identify as, and I'm making up my own.
Latinx.
Yes, I'm making up my own jargon as we go along.
Right.
The jargon consists of numerous words and phrases which members understand or think they do, but which really act to dull one's ability to engage in critical thinking.
Because it mealy mouths everything you say.
It does. Lifton said, quote, "The language of the totalist environment is characterized by the thought-terminated cliche. The most far-reaching and complex of human problems are compressed into brief, highly reductive, definitive-sounding phrases, easily memorized and easily expressed."
I believe you should think for yourself. Racist.
Kind of goes there. Or, you know, Jedi,
Ooh,
like we talked about
yeah.
Friday. You know, justice and equity and
diversity
and whatever the hell I was.
whatever it is.
Nobody cares.
Nope.
These become the start and finish of any ideological analysis. Totalist language then is repetitiously centered on an all-encompassing jargon, prematurely abstract, highly categorical, and relentlessly judging, and to anyone but its most devoted advocate, deadly dull. In Lionel Trilling's phrase, the language of non-thought.
So newspeak.
Newspeak, which is everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Isn't it great?
It's just great.
It's great.
It's a snack. Anyway.
It's like if you want to clap that.
Ew. No, it's not.
Right. Well, that is. That is. No. Slang is a part of it.
Is it really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Slang is a part of it.
I don't think so. Let's see. Number 7, doctrine over person. The personal experience of the group members are subordinated to the truth held by the group. Apparently, contrary experiences must be denied or reinterpreted to fit the doctrine of the group. The doctrine is always more important than the individual.
Always. If I could just save one life.
If I could turn back time?
If I could save time
In a bottle. Yeah.
Anyway.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Lifton said, quote, "This sterile language reflects another characteristic feature of ideological totalism, the subordination of human experience to the claims of doctrine. When the myth becomes fused with the totalist sacred science, the resulting quote-unquote logic can be so compelling and coercive that it simply replaces the realities of an individual's experience."
Scientology.
Well, climate change.
Yeah, I know.
White privilege.
We're adding a bunch of it into it. We're making jokes about some of the stuff, but yeah.
But that's the truth of it.
The
like
white privilege, the climate
everything.
change,
Think about it.
The racial indiscretion, everything else. Yeah. It's all there.
The same doctrinal
gender norms.
Yes, the same doctrinal primacy prevails in a totalist approach to changing people. The demand that character and identity is to be reshaped, not in accordance with one's special nature or potentialities, but rather to fit the rigid contours of the doctrinal mold.
Right.
The underlying assumption is that the doctrine, including the mythological elements, is ultimately more valid, true, and real than any aspect of human character or human experience.
Right, because you don't matter.
No. Thus, even the circumstances require that a totalist movement follow a course of action in conflict with or outside the doctrine. There exists a need to erect an elaborate facade of new rationalizations designed to demonstrate an unerring consistency of doctrine and the unfailing foresight which is provided, or which it provides.
Gender normative cis male.
Right. You damn dirty ape. Rather than modify the myth in accordance with experience, the will of orthodoxy requires instead that men be modified in order to reaffirm the myth.
Men, you must be more feminine.
Pretty much. Toxic masculinity and everything else. I mean, again, you insert your own here. This is fun. The totalist environment counters deviant tendencies with the accusations that they stem entirely from personal problems, quote unquote, derived from untoward toward earlier influences.
Oh,
Helps
so
like spit out, right?
the reason why you act that way is because you were beaten as a child, weren't you?
Therefore, toxic masculinity has caused this boy to be the boy that he is.
Oh, that person is a rapist because he was sexually abused.
Sure. Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense, doesn't it? Finally, number 8, dispensing of existence. The group arrogates to itself the pejorative to decide who has the right to exist and who doesn't.
Prerogative.
Shut up. The tomato at this point. Prerogative, pejorative.
It's a very different word.
Not necessarily. It's close, and my eyes are starting to run together. I haven't read this much straight through in a long time, especially out loud. But
Isn't that a problem?
But think about that though. Abortion,
Yeah.
it's a good start. The whole thing with COVID and people being allowed to be in who gets to have a bed and who doesn't.
Australia.
Don't get me started on
The
Australia.
entire Australia and New Zealand.
Don't get me started.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are you good?
No, I'm getting frustrated. My eyes are hurting for a moment.
All right. So here you go.
Here's the thing. Okay. Usually held in non-literally, or usually held non-literally. This means that those outside the group are unspiritual, worldly, satanic, unconscious.
Unwoke. You
Or-
are not woke to what is going on.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
And that they must be converted to the ideas of the group, or they will be lost. If they refuse to join the group, then they must be rejected by the group's members.
Right.
Even if they are family members.
Right.
In rare cases, this concept gives the group the right to terminate the outsider's life.
Mm-hmm. That person voted for Donald Trump.
Uh-huh.
I will never see them again.
I just can't.
I can never see them again.
How dare they, those bastards. Lifton said, quote, the totalist environment always draws a sharp line between those whose right to existence can be recognized and those who possess no such right. One underlying assumption makes this arrogance mandatory. The conviction that there is just one path to true existence, just one valid mode of being, and that all other are pre-force, invalid, and false. For the individual, the polar emotion conflict is the ultimate existential one of the being versus nothingness. He is likely to be drawn to a conversation experience, which he sees as the only means of attaining a path of existence for the future.
It goes on.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. So basically, this entire thing.
Again, you can point at least one thing going on in the world, in America,
If not
right
20.
now.
If not 20.
Yeah, through all 8 of those.
Yeah.
Tell me we're not being brainwashed, one way or another.
Tell me that re-education isn't trying to happen
Right?
here in America continually.
If only we could do the same kind of brainwashing for getting people to get American Pride Roasters coffee at AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Oh, that would be amazing because then everybody would have delicious, historically great coffee.
Yep. It's so great. It's guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it in your mouth. Get yours today at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Go to Mojo50.com. Check those guys out. Follow us on all the social medias at DOA Show. Get your comments in. We got a whole another hour to go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey.
Let's take a flicken. Next good Frasian heaven. Yes, James. From now on, you always greet Steven with a double handshake. You can't. Because he'll have your hand.
No, it's just, especially if somebody does that from like a radio show host to listener perspective. Mm-hmm. You seem like a weird obsessive fan at that point, and that's just awkward.
I mean, it's just people are happy to see you. I don't see what the big deal is.
It's too much.
No,
It's too much.
no, it's not.
It's too much effort on a handshake.
Poor B from the SAV has to break out the Stallone. The Sly is sitting there. Oh, dear God.
Jesus. What are you doing? Yeah, stop making messes.
Living flickering, mad, empty headroom. Max always makes me drink. Think of a Prince wig bolted to a dried apple head.
Huh?
He's talking about just a picture.
Oh. Sorry. The hell?
I forgot one other fictional dystopian entity that we haven't considered, Snowpiercer. I've never seen it, so I
Okay, so Snowpiercer, there was a big thing about Snowpiercer being like the sequel to it's like the end of the world, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
What?
No joke.
I don't
Like Snowpiercer is like so the train is constantly going, right? If it stops, then everybody freezes to death or whatever.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
It's like the end of the world, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I got that premise, but how is the train going to keep going on forever?
Well, like it has to.
But how? It
Well,
runs on energy eventually.
Wonka. It's a Wonka creation. Or technically a Charlie creation.
Shut up. A Charlie creation?
Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie inherited the chocolate factory. Willy Wonka went away and he started creating a bunch of stuff in his place. Post-apocalyptic.
You're just making this shit up.
I am so not.
Whatever.
That is definitely
I'm damn sure not watching it now. This is ridiculous.
No, that's the fan theory.
I'm definitely not
That's
watching
the
this
fan
shit
theory
anymore.
behind
This
it.
is
I'm
so
not even joking.
stupid.
Like that's a fan theory behind it.
This is retarded.
I know it is, but did you look it up?
No, I'd rather not. Thank you. It's just dumb.
It seemed really stupid to me too.
It is really stupid. Like now I don't even want to watch the movie
Right.
at all.
But yeah, the whole thing is it's a train that's constantly going on a track that cannot stop.
Come on, ride the train.
And ride it.
The boogie.
And everybody's broken up into classes. So
Of course they are.
The rich people are in the front, which is in the safer areas.
Because it's warmer because of the engine.
And it's also cleaner and nicer, and they have money. And
Of course they
have
do.
food, and they have everything there. And then everybody in back are poor and undesirables.
I just wish we could all
And
go back.
they're making their way to the front.
I'll
This is the collision of common sense and comedy. This is Defenders Live.
B from the SAV at DOA Show. Love you. Never going to give you up. Never going to let you down. Never going to run around and desert you.
Shut up. This is so stupid. Is it all? And I read that as dessert.
Thank you. Well done.
I read it as dessert, not desert. So there you go. All right, I read a lot. It's your turn. My eyes hurt. I'm hurting right now.
Your eyes are tired.
I need my glasses. Like, okay, so
you
I
really do. I
lost. I can't find my other set of glasses.
Oh God.
So no. I had two.
You want a pair of mine? You won't be able to see.
No, hell no. I can't see. I don't know how you see. I've got two pair of reading.
I'm like half blind. Bro.
I'm the old man. I have the reading glasses, and I have one in my Bible, and I had one next to the table because kids always got something. Here, Dad, fix this, or hey, I got a splinter or whatever. And I do the old man thing. I scoot to the edge of the chair, and again, legs all wide apart like that, and I put my glasses around into my nose, and
yeah, you're reading up.
I'm trying to figure out what do you got right there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm already doing it, but I can't find those, so I've only got the one pair, and I'm not taking them out of my Bible because if I do, I'll never have them, and then I can't. I can't. So
The Knights Who Say Knee. What that Stephen Airy just described about Snowpiercer sounds a lot like a show my kids used to watch.
Thomas the Train.
Anyway. That's awesome. And
Oblivion Flickering, and next on Masterpiece Theater.
I was about to say, is that a fat joke there, Oblivion?
Dylan Lyles reads the book of non-progressive politics, brought to you by a grant from the Job Group. Well, it won't let me like it, so apparently it was a misspelling, so he deleted it.
Oh.
And he's redoing it and sending it back. But that's still
there.
funny.
It is. There it
Come
is.
through?
It came through.
I didn't get it on mine yet.
I'll do the likings for you.
That's fine.
There it is. Yeah, so the Taliban has put forth prohibitions for barbershops now in parts of the Afghanistan. From shaving and trimming your beards, contending that the rules conform to Sharia law.
I feel like I should go. I would love, and I know I couldn't, but because I can't even get in the country, but I would love to go there just to get a beard trim.
You can't.
I know, but I would like to make it happen.
To ask or whatever.
Yeah, just to walk in like a complete moron. Hey, excuse me, can you trim my beard?
And they'll be like, "Are you trying to kill us?"
What? I don't know what's going on.
You moron. Anyway,
Yeah, right.
Quote: the order in Helmand Province was issued by.
I love Hellman's.
No, not that.
I'm more of a Duke's guy myself, but Hellman's is a good second.
Not that one.
Oh,
Not the mayonnaise.
not mayonnaise.
Not the mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Not that one.
Dag it. Okay.
Definitely not that other one that pretends to be mayonnaise.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Duke's.
No.
No. What's the other one? Oh, the Cool Whip.
Yeah.
That's not. No.
That's not the mayonnaise.
Or no, though. It's not. No, Cool Whip
Is whipped cream.
is whipped cream. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the. I don't know because it's nasty.
It's disgusting.
I don't know who thought that was a fantastic idea, but they need to be slapped.
It's like whatever we're gonna do, then we're gonna whip in sugar. It's like what?
Eggs and sugar. All you need is flour and baking soda. At that point, you can make a cake.
Right.
It's just I don't know.
You've already got the oil. You've already got the eggs.
You've got
you've already
everything. Just
everything. Stop it.
anyway. So no beard trims in the Afghanistan.
No beard trims in the Afghanistans. Yeah. It was issued by a provincial Taliban government's Vice and Virtue Department
Oh, good.
to the barbers. And Lashkargah, the provincial capital.
I'm not a fan of escargot.
No.
It's kind of nasty.
Lashkargah.
Oh. Well, isn't that the female version in French?
No.
Oh.
Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip. Thank you.
It's the Miracle Whip. It's
No.
it's the Pepsi of mayonnaise.
It's That's disgusting.
Isn't it?
But
Doesn't it make a lot of sense?
no, actually, it does.
Makes so much sense.
Kind of hit the nail on the head there, I think.
I just right off the dome. I didn't even think
That
about
was a
that
good
one.
one.
It's
No,
good.
that's yeah. It's
Oh wow.
anyway. It's the tang of Sunny D.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway,
Sunny D to Tang. That's what it is.
just anyway, continuing on. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Who loves orange soda?
Not me.
Cal. Cal loves orange soda.
Oh,
yeah,
I
the
don't
order warns that violators.
Cal
will be-
doesn't listen to us, so I don't give a damn.
That's right. The order warns that violators will be punished. Quote, if anyone violates the rule, they will be punished, and no one has the right to complain.
You have the right to complain.
You don't have the right to complain.
complain away.
You can complain all you want. I don't care.
You
I
have
cut
no
out your
right
tongue.
to complain.
If you complain, I cut out your tongue. Thank you very much.
Good.
I request our Taliban brothers to give freedom to people to live the way they want to live and love the way they want to love.
It sounds like a really bad,
And trim beards and hair the way they want to trim.
sounds like a bad country song right
That
there.
came from barbershop owner Jalaluddin.
Okay.
I had to take a minute because it took me a minute for my head to calculate that word, that guy's name.
Okay. No.
Halaluddin.
Aloha snack bar to you too.
No, that's the guy's name.
Oh.
He told that to AP. Also adding in there, now we have a few clients coming to us, so yeah, they're scared.
Well,
They don't want to trim their hair or their beard, so I requested them to let people free, so that we have our business, and we can freely come, and they can freely come to us.
Or you could just go find another place to
Live.
live.
You just not live in the Afghanistans.
I mean, I get it's your home that you grew up there or whatever, but
It sounds like they don't need barbers in Afghanistan.
I love America with all my heart. But you know what? If it junk keeps getting too much worse,
Gonna have to find someplace.
yeah, like a fat kid in dodgeball, I'm gonna be out of here. I don't know where the hell I'm going, but
Somewhere. Texas, probably.
yeah, somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight.
Anyway, so the AP reported this on Saturday, where the Taliban members slayed 4 alleged kidnappers.
Allegedly.
And hung their corpses in the public square of Herat.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So that's a fun weekend.
I don't know. They were kidnappers.
But I'm saying,
If they were kidnappers, I can't not disagree, I guess. I kind of have to agree that might have been a little overboard with.
are you saying it's a tad excessive?
Maybe just a hair. But once again, we have advocated for public hangings.
Oh, I'm all about public hangings. Now, but here's the difference between us, my pay-per-view public hanging and this.
Which, by the way, that sounds amazing, right? There.
Doesn't it?
Pay-per-view public hanging.
This Saturday. No, but
Or you can get it for free online.
your favorite guillotine operator.
Gravedigger.
Be something like that, yeah. The shovel. Anyway, the difference is on this side, under what I'm referring to, there would actually be, it would be, an actual, jury of your peers. There would be evidence brought. It would be,
And this is not.
and this is clearly not.
This was just the Taliban was like, these guys are kidnappers. We're killing them and hanging them.
we're
putting them in the
saying they're
street.
kidnappers.
So we're gonna kill them and then hang their corpses
And
in the
that's how that's
street,
gonna
so
go,
you guys
yeah.
would know that they were kidnappers.
Just so you know
Right.
that they're kidnappers.
Just don't do it because kidnappers.
Right?
Right.
Do not kidnap.
Right. Well, so this actually brings up a different point, not that one, but the shaving and the
pay-per-view
trimmings. No, the
public-
shavings and we'll get back to that in a minute. But the shavings and the trimmings, right? So what if somebody just keeps their beard well groomed?
That's still trimming.
I mean, just like they get it
that's
brushed
still,
through, you know.
No, that's trimming.
They have to trim?
That's trimming.
What do you mean?
No, I'm saying that's trimming. That whole pull through and all that shit, that's trimming.
How is that trimming though?
Because you're cutting the beard.
I'm saying not cutting it, but just keeping it clean, you know, keep brushing it properly and all the rest of it. And
this single hair on my face
yes,
counts as my beard.
yes,
I can cut that.
right. I'm not talking about cutting it.
That's trimming.
I know I wasn't cutting it. I'm talking about cutting or trimming.
What you just did.
No, I said if they keep it clean.
No, but and how? By brushing it out, I have that. You have to. There's a lot that goes into it.
I know. Yeah, I get it. I don't.
They live in the desert. They don't have that kind of thing.
They don't have that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they do get Amazon drops.
Pretty much. No, but even unless you're just taking a brush to it, like I don't know if
Constantly.
I don't know if you could iron it out or anything like that, because that would be. But I'm serious, because that would be a form of materialism, which is completely what they're supposedly against.
Right, and so everybody just walks around with a nasty, scraggly beard.
Yeah.
That gets in everything.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Isn't it though?
Like, at least clean it up a bit. Like, just make it cleaner. Just a hair.
Again, it's one of those you have to,
Get it.
I got it. I don't want it, but I got it.
Yep. The news comes on the wake of the Taliban's swift takeover of Afghanistan.
Okay.
You know, and took over.
Yeah, they
Kabul and
did.
all the rest
It
of
was
yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah. Funny thing is,
Is it really funny?
no.
On top of, I'm sensing there's more than just thou shalt not cut, trim beards.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know that thing about, an eye for an eye and
Yeah.
tooth for tooth.
Yeah.
You get caught with certain things. You get certain things and stuff happen to you.
Yes.
Well, Taliban figure Mullah Nuruddin.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, Mullah
The mullah.
Nuruddin Turabi told the Associated Press during an interview that the executions and hand amputations will return
Oh, good.
to the Afghanistans.
Oh, good. So we're putting that on pay-per-view.
No, that's not. I mean, we could. It might actually get some, but no.
That would probably get
No, the Taliban,
Something.
They said, quote, cutting off of hands is very necessary for security.
well, duh. If you don't have hands,
You
you're
can't
pretty safe.
can't steal.
Can't steal. You can't
Can't
fight.
well, you could. You could hit people with the nub.
Yeah, we've had that conversation. You could get
It's gonna hurt you too.
You
but
hit somebody with that nub,
it's still gonna hurt.
they're gonna get upset because then they got the nub on their face,
Right.
and that's gross. It is.
Especially if it's still bleeding.
Well, no, it won't be bleeding. That's just dumb.
Punch somebody a couple times with the nub, see if it doesn't bleed.
Oh, I mean, it might. I'm just thinking about just touching it. Period.
The funny thing about that is with those sort of people get weird about that. It's like I'm touching your arm, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you were amputated and I touched that arm, I'd still be touching your arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be touching closer to the nub.
Yeah.
Yeah. People get weird about the nub thing.
You want a real reason why?
Why?
Okay. Same arm.
Yeah.
You can see my scar?
Yeah.
Road rash.
Yeah.
Okay?
I remember.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Let's say it didn't hurt. You want to touch that? Not now. I mean, because it's the skin now.
At the time, I wouldn't be terribly. I'd have been like, whatever.
But I'm saying you're not reaching for it. You're not trying to.
I mean, I'm a weird person, so I'd be like,
You probably would
prod,
be.
prod.
Pokey.
Does it hurt? Poke. You know,
I feel like you're feeling something there, buddy.
I see your eye twitching. No,
But that's my point. And that's what it is. It's not that anybody can, at least as far as I understand, it's not that they're going to go, oh, I'm not touching an arm. It's the fact that it's like, it's a wound. Even if it's healed, it's a wound. Yeah. Another one. Okay, forget it. Like, this is nothing as far as like road rash scarring goes.
Oh, yeah.
Like a real scar.
Right. Or very severe sunburn.
Okay.
Like the
blistering
bubbles, like
kind.
the blistering
Yeah.
pustules. So
Yeah, exactly. You going to touch somebody then? No. Why? Because
well, then
again,
I don't want to. But
forget the pain side of it for the other person.
Say it's completely numbed out.
You're not going to touch it because you're like, oh, ooh.
Ew. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't.
Are you trying to say you would?
I'd pop it.
You weirdo.
I'd pop it.
No.
Yeah.
What? No, you don't pop the blisters. You let it sit there.
I'd pop them.
Ugh.
I did.
It takes them longer to heal that way. Whatever.
Yeah. He went on to say that it's something that they're going to do to make sure that they develop a policy for punishment. They want to make sure that it's there. Turabi is one of the founders of the Taliban, according to the outlet, which reported that in the past, the Taliban's executions sometimes occurred in front of audiences in stadiums.
Oh, good.
See pay-per-view.
See? Pay-per-view.
Yep. Quote, every one that's criticized us for punishment in the stadiums, but we have never said anything about their laws and their punishments.
Right.
No one will tell us what our laws should be. We will follow Islam, and we will make our laws on the Quran.
Okay. If you say so.
Yeah. So executions are definitely happening.
Good.
Amputations of body parts are definitely happening. If you steal over there, your hand is getting chopped off.
Cool. I wonder what they do with the leftover.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so you get convicted. You're convicted of stealing. You're charged. You're convicted. Punishment is handed down.
Right.
Chop your hand off.
Okay.
What do they do with it?
Throw it away.
I mean, just throw it away. Throw it away.
Yeah, throw it.
They don't like feed a dog with it or send it home.
Well, you don't want to give a dog.
You send it home and to back with the person in a doggy bag or something. Be like, here's a remembrance of. You can look at it from time to time.
Remember when you could touch?
You remember the touch, the feel of cotton, the fabric of our lives?
Yeah, that's what you stole, you bastard. No, one, no feeding it to the dogs because you never want to give an animal the taste of human flesh.
Oh no, I see you there.
Right, you don't want to give an animal the taste of human flesh, and that's so. No, you don't do that.
Is that bad? I assume
that's a bad idea. If bad, okay. And
Adam W. Johnson over on Twitter, pretty sure that Chucky from Sons of Anarchy would laugh at them.
Yeah.
You even know what we're talking about?
I do, actually, yes.
The hands and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny.
I do know that one.
It's funny.
Spam?
What?
What about spam?
What?
Be from the SAV?
Oh, turning the hand, the leftover hand.
Oh, into spam.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Once again, cannibalism is a bad idea. It actually causes breakdowns in your brain, which will give you massive tremors.
And dysentery.
Also dysentery. But if you sterilize, it'll still give you massive tremors because the proteins can't be broken down. That's why cannibalism is actually bad for you. The proteins can't break down.
Wait a minute. So that's what's bad for you. Not the fact that you're eating another human being.
Well, no. So what I'm trying to say is nature has made it so when you do something so horrid as eat your own species, it will affect you negatively.
God said don't do that.
Not just God, everything says don't do it.
Yeah, well, God did made it. I mean,
He made everything. But I'm saying, even if you don't believe in God,
I get what you're
science and nature and everything says don't eat human as human. As a human, do not eat human. Bad idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I got it. I got it. I don't rightly want it.
It degrades your brain. It degrades your motor skills. It makes it so your body has constant tremors and shakes all the time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. What if your pay-per-view executioner had tremors?
Or a lazy eye.
No. Think about it. No.
Zero depth perception. Well, there's
about
all
it.
kinds of fun things we can
Think
throw
about
in
it. Your
there.
executioner sitting there and he's at the guillotine, right?
He's got Tourette's.
He's got Lou Gehrig's or something.
Parkinson's?
Yeah, he's just sitting there. And he has the chain in his hand and he's doing this number.
Or worse, they make him actually hold the axe and do the swinging.
Oh, so close.
I know we were aiming at the wrist. I am so sorry.
Or he's like doing this when he's holding the axe.
Is it heavy? No.
It's only about 3.5 pounds, but it doesn't matter.
It's like a bad Blazing Saddles skit. They called me the cold one because of dead shot. You see this? Mm-hmm. Like a rock. Yeah, well, this is my shooting hand. It's like that.
Yes, exactly.
It's so stupid.
Right?
Spider-Man's Private DOA show. We just need to get something we can stay in international waters and declare our own country. No,
We can be like China and build an island out of trash.
Yeah, we could. I don't know why the cotton song stuck in my head now.
Which one?
Touch the feel of cotton.
Oh, yeah,
fabric
because
of
you
our
said
lives.
it.
I know, but I already said it, so it shouldn't be stuck in my head now.
But no, that's not how it works.
I guess.
You're the one that said it. It's going to affect you worse.
I've ruined it all.
You've ruined it for
For
yourself.
the rest of the night.
You've killed it. Done, son.
At DOA show, Spider-Man's Private DOA show, he got to put his head on the axe handle and spin it around 10 times. There we go round the mulberry bush. The monkey chased the weasel.
Pop.
Monkey fell and busted his head. Pop goes the weasel.
Now 6 more times.
You're doing fantastic there, Henry.
My name's not Henry, it's Gravedigger.
Right. Okay. Adam W. Johnson also on Twitter. When it comes to the Taliban's policies on theft, you really got to hand it to them.
Oh.
Look at you over there. Doing the good stuff. I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's well done. Well done.
You know what? Anyway. Oh, it's the little things that make me giggle.
Right.
So any more of the from the Afghana stands?
Well, there's probably a ton, but I just that's why I decided to talk about the the pay-per-view execution again.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Right.
It would pay for a lot of stuff.
I mean, think about it. It really would. Pay-per-view execution. It's not like it's out in the middle of the square.
No.
Whatever organization's doing it can make a good buck.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be a really good idea.
Right.
It would be a deterrent for sure.
Yes.
Because everybody gets kind of, made to, I don't know. I don't want to say they exalt them per se, but, you turn around and you throw these people out there and be like, hey, look, they're so wonderful. You get copycats and everything else.
Right.
You find out that, you see the actual end of it. Kind of like, oh, maybe this is not as good as I thought it was. This is a bit more of a bummer than I planned.
Yeah, maybe this is not cool. I don't know if I like this or not.
I'm not cut out for this crap.
But then you have people that do things like watch The Purge and they wish that it happens.
I can't condone the purge, but at the same time, I completely understand it.
Yeah,
I really
it's that
do.
human nature for wrath.
Well, yeah, but it would never actually work on the other side, though.
Oh, never. It really wouldn't, because, the first one would be terrible. Like, hundreds of thousands of people would die.
Oh, I know. And then once it's all done and cleaned up and finished, it would not work
It
out.
wouldn't go back to normal. People
No.
wouldn't go back to normal.
Most of the people that would be dead would be the innocent people who act, you're trying to work to defend and all that other jazz. Or
90% of the time.
yeah, the high elites and all that jazz will be the
ones that actually get saved, or the bad people, just the regular bad people. So
good times.
not good. Not good at all. Like,
So cannibalism gives you the wobbles.
let me see you wobble.
Lean with it, rock with it.
When you going to stop with it?
Nope. Not today, Satan. Not today.
Lyrics that mean nothing we were gifted with.
John Kanaka to Rye. That's my kid's favorite song now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He never heard it before.
Yeah.
And by the time, I started from my house and we were listening to it on the way to church. It's like a 15-minute drive. By the time we got to church, he's like, "This is my favorite song."
Yeah. You know what got the boys' attention recently?
What?
I could be brown. I could be blue.
Don't you shut up. I don't know who come up with that. The first video I've ever seen of that was Ryan Reynolds. And every guy to a point has that weird, semi-man crush on Ryan Reynolds.
Right, yeah.
I'll kill the son of a bitch at this point if I found it and he come up with that song.
He didn't know it. It was
okay, thank
well
God,
before him.
because that irritates the piss out of me.
Yeah, so-
it is irritating.
Yeah,
everybody's doing it.
The
and
kid is doing. The boy he's doing the same thing he was doing with the
slap
other.
him.
This is Defenders Live.
So, R. Kelly was found guilty
Oh, darn.
of sexually abusing women, boys, and girls over several decades.
Oh, darn.
He only faces 10 to life.
That's it?
Yep.
Hold on. Oh, to life.
Yeah, 10 to life, which means he gets offered parole at 10 years.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What did Bill Cosby get? Now, obviously, he got
he
let
got
out.
released.
Well, obviously, he got released.
Life. He got life.
What did he, straight up life?
Yeah. Or 20 to life, I think.
He sure as hell didn't make the 20.
He didn't make the life either.
No. Something is. Hold on. Let's see.
What?
I'm just curious.
What Bill Cosby got?
Yeah.
Bill Cosby sentence?
Yeah. What was Bill
Cosby.
Cosby?
Sentence.
I was hoping it'd be in the thing. Cosby's sweaters. Really?
Yep. They don't.
Original sentence.
Original sentence.
The original one,
Yeah,
not
that
the
one.
fake
yeah.
one.
Mhm, the original.
Prison sentence was overturned.
Yeah.
Section overturned. Okay, let's try here. Forbes. Okay.
Probably not going to be able to work out.
No, I get one. He was
Uh-huh.
serving more than 2 years of a 3 to 10 year sentence.
Oh, so he was 3 to 10.
So he was 3 to 10 years for what he.
But it's also like 200 years old, so 3 to 10 is life.
Sad, you've grown old.
Right. Yeah, the 54-year-old Kelly was convicted of all 9 counts.
Wow.
Including racketeering of 14 underlying acts that included sexual exploitation of children, kidnapping, bribery, sex trafficking. And he also faced 8 additional charges, violations of the Mann Act, a sex trafficking law that prohibits transportation of any woman or girl across state lines for nefarious purposes. And he only
Isn't that kidnapping?
that is part of kidnapping, and he has kidnapping in there.
Oh, I know, but I'm
Kidnapping.
saying, I guess it's
But
one of those-
specifically, if you're a guy transporting a woman or girl for nefarious purposes, it's a sexist crime.
Yep. Whatever.
Anyway, the New York federal jury of 7 men and 5 women reached the unanimous verdict after 2 days
Wow.
and a month-long trial.
Phew.
Yeah, the case was not about a celebrity who liked. This is a quote. The case was not about a celebrity who likes to party a lot. That from the Assistant U.S. Attorney Maria Cruz Melendez. She said that during the opening statements in August. This is the case about a predator.
How to catch a predator?
No,
Oh.
they've already caught him.
Okay.
How to convict a predator. Yeah, according to the CNN, at least 50 prosecutors, prosecution and defense witnesses took the stand during the trial, including several, quote, Jane Does. There were 45 prosecution witnesses, and one Jane Doe was later R&B star Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Known professionally as Aaliyah, who died in 2001.
Wow. I did not know she was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Did not know that little nugget.
Like, she kind of got her start in R&B.
Well, no, I know who Aaliyah is.
With the
or
help
was.
of R. Kelly.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and she was still like
That's
really young
sad,
when
'cause
that
I
happened.
like-
She was really
I actually
young.
liked her.
Yeah, she was great. Did a great job. Anyway, quote, the jurors heard from multiple witnesses who were present at the Aaliyah marriage to Kelly in 1994 when he was 27 and she was 15. Prosecutor showed copies of the couple's marriage license application, which listed Aaliyah as the age of 18 at the time of their wedding. Of course, that was a lie.
Weird.
Kelly's former manager testified and admitted that he bribed a worker at the Chicago area welfare office to create fraudulent IDs for Aaliyah.
That's sad.
Kelly was said to have married Aaliyah because he falsely believed he got her pregnant.
Sir, you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place.
Another witness said that she met Kelly when she was just 17. Not Aaliyah, but another person, and noted that he willingly invited her to his studio despite being fully aware that she was underage. I mean, how does this... Okay. R. Kelly literally went on stage somewhere last year, and we talked about it,
Yeah.
where he just straight up invited any woman
Yeah.
to
Come on stage.
come on stage with him and then leave with him.
We're going to go party.
As part of his song,
Yeah.
he ad-libbed an invitation to any and all comers. Ew.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm quite okay.
So he's been a sexual deviant forever and ever. And it was obvious. I mean, come on. When people like Chris Rock and
When everyone else makes fun of you.
everyone makes fun of you, they make songs like "Gonna pee on you," "Drip, drip, drip."
Ew.
You know, that's come on.
Weird Al.
No,
Yeah, he did one too, I believe.
no, Weird Al did not touch that.
B from the SEV had a bit of a crush on Aaliyah back in the day. I did too. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm saying
I'm not gonna lie. She was
she had a great voice.
she was pretty. She
Yeah,
was. My favorite to this day is still. Was it not Cradle to Grave? Damn it! I had it right in my head. It was Jet Li. Aaliyah was in it.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! What's the name of the movie? I have it at the house. And I don't know. I feel like an idiot now because I had pitched it up way too higher than what it needs to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's still one of my favorite movies. Yeah, she was in it, and she was just talented.
Cradle to the Grave was Steven Seagal and DMX.
Yeah, DMX is in this too, but his was more of a cameo part. It was Jet Li and somebody else.
Yeah, and there was a whole Asian to black relations in
Yes,
that area. Yeah.
yes. I can't remember what the name of the movie is, but
It was good. It was a good
really good movie.
Yeah.
And it's
It was basically Romeo and Juliet, Black Asian.
well, no, not even just that though. If you watch the movie, it was very similar to the kind of stuff that's going on now. It was where the powers that be on both sides were trying to instigate wars amongst themselves so they can turn around and profit off of their own people.
Right. Yeah.
And then off of the destruction of this town around them.
yes.
It was really good. But anyway, I'm right there with you. I kind of had a crush on her too. I was like, wow, she is pretty.
We agree.
yes.
At the time.
Then now she's not looking quite so good.
No, she decayed.
No, that's sad.
Sadness.
Wow.
But yeah, so Kelly got 10 years.
Well,
Ish.
ish.
Unless he gets out early on good behavior.
Well, okay. I don't hope that he does.
I mean, he's not going to a hard prison anyway.
Oh dear God, no. He won't be there. He won't be in general pop. He won't be in nothing.
They're going to keep him separated.
Yeah. Keep it separated. Hey! Sorry. I don't know. He should though.
Mm-hmm.
He should. I think you should stick his happy ass into something that it won't have a happy ass when he's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
It really needs to happen because I wonder what would happen there. Like because we already know kind of what happens to people when they
Go to jail.
with this kind of charges.
Yeah.
The regular people.
They get used up pretty easy.
What happens to Romeo Must Die? Thank
There
you.
it is. Yeah, it was a Romeo and
Thank
Juliet play. There you go.
Yeah, no, I wonder what would happen if you put a quote unquote celebrity
Mm-hmm.
in there for the same thing. Like
I honestly, I think what's going to happen is he's going to have a bunch of people idolizing him.
well, maybe, but at the same time,
I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But still.
I don't know. But that would be interesting.
It would be.
I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I mean, you're going to have people idolizing him.
Yeah.
That's not the question. The question I think is going to be, how many would idolize him and be like, "Oh my God, it's a celebrity," and how many people are going to go, "You son of a bitch."
Right. Well,
You know what I mean?
How many would chuck chuck?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
The jury is still out.
I know it is.
But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
hey.
And now for something completely different.
A famed medical journal has sparked outrage with its insistence on desexing women, and instead referring to them as bodies with vaginas.
Oh, good.
Yeah, following the outcry, the journalist editor-in-chief issued what was apparently supposed to be an apology because...
Hey guys, we're sorry.
but focused mainly just on the transgender community instead.
Really?
So, yeah, because here's what happened. They posted this thing, Medical Journal, where they changed all the stuff from women to bodies with vaginas, and they got taken to the woodshed from social media.
Well, they would have to. I mean, again, because the whole point they were referring to, again, it goes back to the topic surrounding the whole thing
Right.
was about menstruation.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't say bodies with vaginas because in this day and age, there have been bodies who have been reconstructed to have alleged vaginas.
And
Allegedly.
And by having that, just because you have that doesn't mean you menstruate.
Exactly.
So you can't sit here, even under a, well, we're woke kind of thing. It doesn't matter.
It's not the same.
You're still talking nonsense. Because you can't say bodies with vaginas rather than women because it still ends up being women because women are the only ones that can kind of menstruate.
Actually.
If you don't have a womb or the ability to have a womb, then you can't menstruate.
Those with a womb.
Ah, those were the wombs.
Mm-hmm.
The touch, the feel of cotton. Okay.
Oh, no. God. It's still in your head, isn't it?
It is, but think about it. Cotton.
I know.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
You're welcome.
We're walking away from that one.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
The Daily Mail on Sunday reported that the Lancet prompted fury.
Not
with its
fury.
With its dehumanizing and sexist front page remarks,
How
which
dare they?
described females as bodies with vaginas rather than women in apparent attempt to appease the transgendered lobby. In early September, an article titled Periods on Display.
Ew. Didn't somebody already do that as a painting?
Yeah, but
Gross.
this is an article now from a science journal.
So you can read the fun instead of just living it. Oh,
That's right.
Good.
Next time they'll have scratch and sniff. Addressed what the outlet said were, quote, it's just going to smell like rusty nickels.
Hey, look, there's a clot. Oh, I'm sorry.
What they said was a taboo and history of periods
What's a taboo?
at the Vagina Museum in London.
What? Hold on.
There's a vagina museum in London. Let that sink in.
I'd rather not.
Yeah. The article writers, according to the outlet, used the word women to describe females, but also used the term bodies with vaginas. Yeah, the front page of the September 25th article said, quote, historically, the anatomy and physiology of bodies with vaginas has been neglected.
It has.
It has. Very much so. Yeah, some academics, according to the Daily Mail, were unhappy with the articles and the cover and said that both were part of a misguided pursuit of woke points.
Because we're not happy. Oh. Get it? I
got you.
I changed it.
Mhm.
It makes it not happy.
That's right.
Because he was talking about being happy.
Because they're not happy.
But I'm not happy.
Yeah. The Mail cited Dr. Madeline Nidigalo.
Hashtag nailed it. Hashtag like a native.
Yes, who said naming women as bodies with vaginas is a new low.
Is it?
All in the misguided pursuit of woke points. You can be inclusive without being insulting and abusive. How dare you dehumanize us with a statement like that? Well,
I agree.
I agree.
Completely agree.
It's like, okay, first it was, and I agree that, women should have equal rights.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Equal rights. And they should also have equal responsibility.
Actually, funny you mentioned that because there was something I believe I'd heard got passed somewhere that women now are required to sign up or be registered for the draft. And everyone is there's all kinds of people living about it.
If you want equal rights, you got to have it.
Exactly.
If you want equal rights and equal responsibility, that's how you pay for it. If you want to have the right, you need to be responsible with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why it's such an issue.
Why is it a big issue? We haven't even had a draft.
Oh, yeah. We haven't had one for years. But
the
fact
60s the last one? It was 60s, right?
60s or 70s.
Yeah, because Vietnam. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the last draft we had was in the 60s. Now, with the current society and how everybody is hating on the military and how nobody really wants to join the military not nobody wants to, but a vast majority don't want to join the military because of one reason or another, specifically on the conservative side, more so because the government is going to kill everybody and less for the fact that they don't want to support the military because they do.
Yeah.
We may have a draft eventually because they're going to push us into a war
It could
that
happen.
we have to be a part of.
It could happen.
They're going to force us into a war that we have to be a part of because without that, there's not going to be. They're going to have to give up on COVID eventually, and so they have to have a new thing.
I don't know. They can come up with all kinds of variants.
Yeah, but like now, we don't care.
No, I know.
Everybody's completely
checked out.
They've been completely numbed by it. Either you believe it wholeheartedly or you are completely numb to it and you just want everything to go back to normal.
Oh, I absolutely do. I want to go back to, some form of normalcy.
Right. But no, it's not going to happen.
Leave me the hell alone, sir.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm right there with you. But yeah, about this, okay? Specifically about women's rights.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And making sure that you're being, quote unquote, inclusive. This goes back to that
Jedi.
The Jedi, and it also goes back to the story that we were talking about where you were going through the list of things that people want, the politically correct words and the verbiage and the phrasing and the new speak and yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Making it so being a woman is nothing more than having a specific body part.
Isn't that kind of the...
Literally, that's materializing a woman into nothing but a vagina.
Yeah, but isn't that the antithesis of what their argument is in the first place? Which is you can't, don't sit here and put me down just based off of my genitals. I am whoever I decide to be.
Right, but at the same point in time, your genitals don't decide what you are.
But allegedly they do. According to them, it does, though.
Right, according to them, it does.
That's what I'm talking about.
But then you also have on the same side of them, you have women like this who are looking at it like, how dare you put me down by saying that I'm just a vagina?
No, and I agree with that. I mean, they are more than that. At the same time, though, and I don't know her, but I'm going to go on a limb that a lot of people in that kind of
realm,
that ethos over there, those are the very same people who are all about,
equal rights of everybody and also the LGBTQ.
Let the trans do what they want to do because it's okay for them to do what they want to do.
Let the men get a tilapia.
Ew. Stop it.
A tilapia slit.
That's gross.
It's nasty.
Gross. What is this on my... No. Mm-hmm. Being from the SAV, any museum that I can sink into would be really hard for me to embrace. Just saying.
Ew. Hot dog hallway. Go.
Run, my son, run. You take the high road and I'll take the low road.
No, I'm not taking any road to get there.
And we'll both get there in the morning.
No, we won't. Because I'm not going.
You sound a bit miffed.
Not doing it. Oh, no. But yeah.
That's funny.
So it goes into another argument, though. And it's one that actually came across on social media. Okay. This argument came across on social media, and I didn't send it over. I didn't prep it because I didn't think that this was going to come up, but it did. And so since it came up quite a bit, it was a social media personality. They do the Twitters a lot.
Okay.
And they're checked. So, they're
fancy then.
They're fancy.
Wow.
On the Twitters.
Okay.
They retweeted with a comment. Somebody, the other person said, she didn't change her name when she got married. Her husband took her name. And
okay.
This person decided to comment saying, so she took his wife's dad's name.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Right, okay. And then another person commented underneath that, so a man's surname belongs to him, but a woman's surname, a biggest part of her identity that ties her to her family, doesn't belong to her, but the dad? Here's the thing.
Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but...
Isn't that kind of a preference?
It's a tradition thing.
Yeah,
okay?
well, and that's fine.
Right. But it's a tradition thing based upon an older idea, a very traditional idea of marriage. But when I say old idea, I mean a woman given to a man as marriage for a dowry.
Well, and not just that too. It's it goes. The connection is also biblical. You can take the whole. It's a man and a woman become one.
Right. Right. And it doesn't matter. So that's the other thing, right? So you have that. That's the man and woman become one. Well, in what way? Because up until a certain generation, man and woman become one was literally they would take the same name, and normally it would be the males. And so every generation rose up. The whole idea of you got to have at least one boy to pass along the lineage of your name was due to the fact that the male kept the name in the relationship and the female took his name.
Yeah.
Right? But what does that matter nowadays?
Well,
what does it matter?
And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. To sit here and argue.
Well,
over
what point does it matter? What point matters for it? So here's what I mean.
Okay.
Are you a mass traditionalist to where you believe that the lineage should pass along the male line, mainly because the male line is the only line that can pass that genome down from one to another?
Does anybody ever do it that way though? like today, does anybody ever look
Think
at
about it like that? No.
Think of it from the angle of my lineage must carry on. I have no sons to pass on.
But we talk about the father of my father of my. People talk about that still. My great grandfather, father, and it's never about the grandmother because the grandmother's always from a different family, or the mother's always from a different family, and so it's always the father's lineage stepping down. That's the traditional viewpoint, but it's also a scientific viewpoint.
Well, yeah, it's just an angle. They picked a lane, they ran with it, and that was the way it went. And sure, you can go back to, well, it's the patriarchy and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But it's a tying of genealogy to a name.
Yeah, but my point is, who cares?
Right. In
Who
today's society, it
cares?
doesn't matter anymore.
It never honestly, it never really mattered in the first place.
Right. It was a man-made construct.
Now, obviously, people make a big deal about it, be like, oh, well, it has to be this way. No, it
doesn't have to be.
really doesn't.
No, it doesn't have to be.
You're right. It's a traditionalist kind of thing. But does
when I got married, honestly, if my wife decided she didn't want to take my name, I would have been upset.
Well, don't get me wrong. I kind of would like that. I'm like that too.
I'd have been upset. I'd been like, why?
However,
is my name not good enough for you?
However, well, but that brings up the argument. Well, is her name not good enough for you?
Exactly.
That's the point.
Right.
Who cares what anybody else wants to do?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you would mention that obviously pre-marriage.
Right. That was pre-marriage.
And you just be like, hey, just so we're clear, I'm just weird about this. Maybe it's how I grew up or just how I see things, blah, blah, but I want, if we get married, I want you to take my name.
Right.
There was also meant to be as kind of a high-level gift. You know what I mean? To be given someone, to share their name with them, like that means a big deal to people.
Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be a big deal.
But, again, that's a traditionalist side of things. Who cares? Who cares if they got... Now, can we sit there and go, wow, that's a little weird? Because we're not used to it?
Yeah, we're not used to it. And technically, it does kind of screw up the naming.
But who cares? But
that's just the thing. It's not even a big deal.
But the only reason why you would need to know at this point... unless you're trying to track down whether or not your family owned slaves or not.
It's not a big issue.
Or unless you're royalty where you have to prove your bloodline, there's no reason for it.
Right.
Who the hell cares what your name is?
There have been many cases down the lines of human society to where the son decided to take the mother's maiden name instead of taking the father's name because he hated the dad. And it's not anything that's going to be a problem. Heck, people take other people's names for all sorts of reasons.
Well, not for nothing. Most of the last names back in the day used to come from your job.
Right, because you didn't actually have to have a last name.
No, because there wasn't that many people with your name floating around. At least not around you.
Not around you directly.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those situations where you could be in town and run into like 12 mics.
There wasn't the situation to where every year there's the most popular name presented.
By far,
and where 7 million children are named. So, all the girls in this generation are named this.
Yeah.
It
doesn't work that way.
No, it wasn't like that. That wasn't a thing.
It's so stupid. The stuff that we find to argue about.
Why? Why does it matter? Does it truly matter?
No. But you know what it is? I think it's just one more thing. We've gotten so used to arguing.
Right.
We've gotten so used to fighting. We've gotten so used to bickering and complaining.
To the mass snark.
Yeah, that we have to find something new. We're tired of beating all the old stuff down. Race and COVID and all this stuff. We have to move on to other things. Mm-hmm. And we have to find that next battle that we can win. Because that's what makes a war a war. It's multiple battles. It's not just one.
Right.
It's multiples.
We have to have a battle going in our lives continually.
Constantly. Or it serve no purpose, apparently.
Right. And if it's on Twitter, it's obviously completely fruitless.
All of it's fruitless, if you ask me.
What I mean is, there are battles that you have that you're going to have in your life that actually strengthen you, that actually do things for you and for your life, and put you in a position to where you can become a better person for it.
Yeah, but
there are those.
You can't. You're right, but you can't walk into those things expecting like
the battle over somebody's last name is not it.
Yeah, if
especially
you're going
on
in-
Twitter.
Yeah, if you're going in arguing and fighting just to argue and fight, you're doing something wrong. If you're not trying to find resolution or come out with a different understanding on the situation, you're doing it wrong. Period.
If you're not learning to think for yourself.
Yep. If you're not ordering from American Pride Roasters Coffee and getting your coffee from there, you're doing it wrong.
Right. Definitely doing it
Historically great coffee, guaranteed to make you swallow every single time you put it in your mouth. World is falling apart and going to hell, but at least you can turn around and know that there's a fantastic cup of joe waiting for you. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That is AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
I'd like to take this second to commend you, Sweatimus Prime, over on the Twitters. Let's just go back to the Norse way of naming your name, your dad's name, son.
I like that.
Or